Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and today I am doing an awesome interview with two ISTJs, Jamie and Cherie. And the difference between them is Jamie is the standard, while Cherie is the jumper. So I'm gonna have them introduce themselves first, starting with Jamie. So Jamie, go for it.
I'm Jamie. I'm the basic B, and I'm a feminine, masculine, SITE, BSBC, which is visual ISTJ with a lot of masculine TE, and consume last. It's sad.
All right, Cherie.
I feel like that sometimes. Yeah, I'm Cherie. I'm an ISTJ jumper, SIFI, sleep, last, play, consume, double feminine. I'm basically Dave, but with SI.
Wait, I thought you're visual also, Cherie.
No.
Did you
I
get
feel like you already started with the recording.
did you get
No,
retyped or something?
No, they typed me double feminine to begin with. But when you interviewed me the very first time, you thought I was visual. So
Oh, no.
you shared my video as visual. And then people came to me messaging me being like, oh, you're visual. Ask me about what it's like to be visual. And Dave and Shan said that I was too easygoing with the tribe.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
well,
I think, I don't think it's that big of a difference, honestly.
okay, it's all good. It's all good. All right, so I want to start this interview by what you guys have similar first. So at the start of the interview, you guys are both like freaking out about chaos already. So Jamie, Jamie can. So I'll get Jamie to explain to share first. So Jamie, you were having your cat stuff happening. Can you just share that?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So the cats. Well, unfortunately, so one of them actually died. So there will actually be less chaos because there's only two of them now. But yeah, they usually eat an hour from now, and this is about the time when they start getting hungry and really starting to annoy me. So I was like, oh crap, I gotta feed them. And then I forgot I had the blur for the background on. So I was like in the background when I joined the meeting, and I was completely blurred out. I didn't know it can't see that far away.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I was like, is there something wrong with
That's
your
funny.
camera? It's like something wrong with your camera, Jamie. I can't see you. Yeah. And then at the start, Cherie was having issues with her cell phone. So can you talk about that for just a second?
Yes, Kendrick. I was also having observer issues with my phone when I joined, because I don't have Wi-Fi in my new apartment. So it's just, one thing after another with IJs. But yeah,
Oh,
I don't have Wi-Fi, so I have to use my phone when I'm doing something that's like online. I can't use my laptop. And I always have trouble setting up my phone. I don't, either the auto lock's on or it's off or, whatever.
so you moved to a new place then?
I did. Yeah, I just moved. It's been stressful.
Yeah,
Obviously.
lots of chaos, eh?
And just, I don't know anybody. I think that's the thing that's stressing me out the most. Like, I'm not really worried about my coworkers. I'm not worried about the job. I'm worried about like the fact that I don't have like friends to do stuff with on the weekends.
Did you move to like a different city or something, or like?
Yeah, I was in Indiana and now I'm in Oklahoma. So like
What
big
part of
difference. It's a
Oklahoma?
different time zone. Tulsa.
Okay. I've got a family in Oak City, so.
Okay. Yeah. So a couple of my cousins went to school in Oklahoma City. But I didn't like choose Oklahoma. It's just like the only place that offered me a job. So
If you go to Tahlequah, which is on the east side of you, I've got family in Arkansas too. So like Tahlequah is absolutely beautiful. The mountains there are phenomenal.
yes, yeah, it's supposed to be really good for hiking. Because my cousin, she just started, so she was at school in Oklahoma City, and now she's in Bentonville, Arkansas,
The home
which is
of Walmart. I used to live and work there.
okay. Nice.
And
Love
if you
that.
go a little further north from there, down in the southern part, southeast part of, southwest part of Missouri, the Elk River is phenomenal for floating. It's like the redneck Riviera.
Yeah, everybody like boats and river floats, and that rhymes, but they do that kind of stuff around here, which I'm like not used to. Midwest, I'm used to corn, but
Yeah, well, the mid and the water rights are different in the Midwest. So like I was in Kansas and it's totally different. So
yeah,
you can actually do it in Arkansas.
right, because there's actually like a river. Yeah.
I love all the things talk. Like you cannot talk about like self and tribe without going to things. It's like it's almost like automatic.
It's the sensory, man,
Yeah.
it's the SI.
Yeah. But EPs do it too, so it's like an EPIJ thing, let's talk about things. Well, who cares about the people stuff, like, but because like Cherie started with like friends, and then somehow it talk about corn and like, anyways,
corn is more important than people. That's
yeah.
obviously.
So since you brought up the topic of friendship, we're gonna talk about like you guys being like, self above tribe and tribe above self. So Cherie,
Okay.
the example I want to use here is that interview. There was like a video that they released in the classes between Tim Ferriss and what's the other guy's name again?
Gabor Mater.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
I call him Goober Mater.
Goober Mater. Okay, there could be worse nicknames than that. So so anyways, so they're like almost identical type, kind of like you guys, but like the biggest difference was like the
one's NIFI, one's NITE.
Right. But like, like they were talking about like sense of self-worth, and like Tim Ferriss kept feeling like he was like being disrespected, by people,
by other people. Yeah.
Yeah. But so I want to ask Jamie about that in a second. But so for you, Cherie, like what is like as a self-above tribe person, like what is your version of that? Is it similar to like IPs where you're scared of getting like abandoned, and also like what do you call it? What's the other one? Or tribe hate? Or is it something else? Like what would your version be? And if you need time to think, I can pass it to Jamie first, I guess.
No, yeah, I guess I always knew that I had savior FI or savior DI, I guess, because I always like self-typed an MBTI as like an ENFP or an ENTP. So because I knew like I wasn't paying attention enough to other people, and that was screwing me over. I guess just like a sort of like selfishness, healthy selfishness, borderline unhealthy, and just like a sort of like independence and like I can get what I need for myself without you kind of thing. And that like would cause problems with my family because they're very like, we are a tribe and a group and everyone needs to be helping everyone. And I was like, no, I can do my own thing and I'll be fine. And that was not well received. But yeah, I guess it's partially a fear of tribe hate. I've gotten a lot better at tracking the tribe than I was like 3 years ago when I got typed. Because I try and pay attention to like the EJs and the FE people too, because I think what they're tracking something that TE isn't even tracking. So like if you can do both, and I'm already a feeler anyways, right? So I feel like it might even be easier for me to simulate FE than to do TE sometimes. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just rambling now. I think it's easier for me to like support myself, and I don't really get mad at other people for what did Tim Ferriss, he felt like people weren't what were they not doing? They weren't like recognizing him, or
I forgot the exact context. The guy was just using like an example, that Gabor Mate guy, whatever. He was just saying something like, if someone were to come to your like someone was supposed to do a work for you and they didn't do a good job, and then Tim Ferriss said that he would feel like disrespected,
disrespected. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would hold people more accountable maybe. Tim Ferriss is also play last, so
yeah,
my play is higher than his. So I think I would throw the ball around with people enough ahead of time that like if they didn't do a good job, then that's on them. I think I put more responsibility on other people because like I have DI, so I assume everyone else has DI. So I'm like, okay, well, if you're not being accountable for your own actions, then that's on you. Like, I guess you're just a shitty person, whatever.
So basically for you, it wouldn't bother you as much, like you wouldn't feel disrespected per se, but the bigger problem for you is the tribe hate, like from like family and stuff, like disagreeing with you because you know we should be together, where you're like, no, I can do my own thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so, but so if that's the effect, like tribe hate, because like my girlfriend is an INTJ jumper, so kind of like very similar to you.
She's FI savior too. Yeah.
Right, and she gets so much tribe hate, you know, like like at her family, like so much tribe hate, like they're all like
No.
ganging up on her right now, you know, because she's trying to be independent,
Aw,
you know,
that's
and
sad.
they tried to teach her a lesson too. It's like, okay, we'll see if you can survive on your own, and she thrived, and they don't like that because then you know they wanted to feel needed, they wanted
Oh,
to feel needed, right? So
yeah.
um so tribe hate, right? And you're also like independent, and then you know maybe some people feel threatened by that. They're like, you know, they don't feel like you need them anymore, you know. So
Yeah. People do feel threatened by sleep saviors. Yes, very much so.
So, okay, but the question is, are you scared of tribe? Do you feel like scared of that, or do you feel scared of like getting abandoned by the tribe? Is that like a fear, like the emotion? Is that like something that you?
I know I'm not going to get abandoned by the tribe because I will like insert myself into situations whether people want me to or not. So I'm not going to get left behind. Like I'm doing too many things with people. Um at the end of the day, I think it's my consume really that I'm just like afraid of myself
Gotcha.
and like who I am because I don't know who I am. I don't know.
Uh, all right. Um. So I guess the feeling is not there. You're double activate TE, of course. So you're doing so much tribe stuff, so it makes sense. What about you, Jamie? Do you resonate with the feeling of being disrespected? You know.
But see, I actually had this whole like TE process going on throughout this whole while I was listening. So like so like yes and no. Like I don't, so all the rest of my family, I'm the odd one out there because they're all feelers at the top, whether my mom's FE at the top, my dad and
Mm,
sister are FI at the top. I think my brother is actually some kind of an ENTP, but he's like 10 years older than me and he wasn't there most of the time when I was growing up. So like my mom would want us to all do the tribe thing where like we had 4th of July was a battle. It became a battle for me. It's like anything between me and her on clothing. She would try to get, she had this vision for how she wanted me to look. And I was like, no, nah, nope, I won't.
I like that
And,
masculine TE.
and like, yeah, I was like, nope. And I have my favorite school picture is actually evidence of these battles because it started in elementary school. I look very angry in the picture. Yeah, so I mean, there's stuff like that where yeah, you know, well, in that specific case, I felt like my mom was disrespecting me. But that was like, it also blew over really quickly. And it's stuff that I'm only processing it now because it wasn't like a big thing that I got stuck with when I was a kid. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe you need to actually kind of think about this a little bit more. But yeah, there's sometimes I can feel my dad coming out of me. He had masculine FI at the top, which was a really good balance for me when we weren't butting heads. And so, but he was very big on like, you know, if anyone's more than 5 minutes late, they're disrespecting you. And so every once in a while, I'll have like this like demon wave, and it's partly because of him. And I'll be like, that's so disrespectful. And then I look, and then I'm over it in like 5 minutes because I'm not. If I'm gonna actually beat on the tribe, I have to be pretty much out of my mind because I end up avoiding it as much as possible because I'm in my 40s and so I've got the reflexes now because I know that if I beat on the tribe, they're gonna come back and beat on me, and my little wimpy feminine FI is gonna go cry in a corner. So, so I want to avoid that as much as possible. So yeah, do I feel disrespect? Occasionally. I don't really worry about it, but yeah, it happens. Yeah.
Got it. So you guys are both consume last, but you guys are still different in the sense that, you know, tribe above self, self above tribe. Cherie said that you said that you don't know yourself, which is kind of weird because you're sleep first. So, you know, technically you would have like a really good self-awareness, but now that we know about OPS and self-awareness, you know, only half of it is from sleep, the other half's from consume, because consume is like self-awareness from an external perspective. You know, it's like you become a ghost and you can like watch yourself in like third person. So so what's kind of been the problem for you as like a consume last in terms of your identity, you know? Because like you can only like you have really good sense of the inner world, but but what if you become like a ghost? Not literally, but you know, just if you
No, like a literal ghost. Like someone shoots me right now and just my soul just leaves my body. Yeah. I mean, I said that partially as a joke. Look at me qualifying my jokes. They have intuition last. But it's like partially I might speak from a place of privilege where like I have sleep savior and consume last. So my DI is aware of how much isn't there. Like I know how much consume I'm lacking because I'm like tracking my DI before I'm tracking my DE. So I see that void like strongly, like it's like hitting me all the time. And then partially there's like a lot of myself that I don't see on the spectrum. Like presentation, like just like body awareness. I have a friend who's an ESFP and she just like even if she's just wearing like a baggy t-shirt and jeans, like she just is like put together in like a way that only like consume saviors can do. Like even if you're like you're like totally frumpy, I don't know, like you look like you just rolled out of bed. It's like something about the consume first. It's like, this is my identity that I'm putting on display for you. And like, this is who I am with this look that I have. And I can't do that. But I'm SF, so I want to do that. But you know, I guess it took Martha Stewart 40 years to learn how to be media ready. So when I'm 40, then you can also put me on camera. But until then.
Yeah, maybe Jamie's there now, but no.
That's the only reason I look this good right now. I'm in my 40s and I'm figuring it out now, literally. Literally.
But you know, Cherie, that's like a super good point. Like those damn ESFPs, they know how to look good all the time, even if they look like crap. It doesn't make like even if they, you know, just like you said, they just woke up or whatever. Like it's not just for girls and guys. Like the guys, they have like that, I don't know, like that messy look that looks good still. Like it's like what the hell, you know?
I know. Are you jealous of it too? You watch it and
I
you're
am.
like with your NT.
No, I am jealous. I'm super jealous of like the SF people, especially like the SEF, like those ESFPs. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I mean, I admire them, so it's not like a bad jealousy or anything. It's just like, you know, it's more like admiration. I'm like, what the hell? Why can't I look as cool as them? You know?
You're like, teach me your ways.
Yeah, like I was in like when I was in college, we did like a fashion show, and like they picked like 3 students to be like the male models and 3 females, and like they picked me as one of them. It's not like a fancy one. It's just like I don't know. It's like a school thing, right? And then we work with like a celebrity like image consultant. She was like she did the image like the fashion for Cameron Diaz and Bill Clinton and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was like, she was telling me all this SF stuff. I was like absorbing everything. I was like, oh wow. She's like, yeah, if you have a small head, you know, you gotta wear a V-neck. If you have a big head, crew neck. I was like, I was like taking mental notes in my head. I was like, whoa, this is like really good stuff, like your belt has to match your shoes, and like all that stuff. It's like, oh, you would look good in like a cardigan and like a vest. I was like, oh, holy crap, I'm like learning so much SF stuff here. Like,
she knew you were NT. She suggested a cardigan.
yeah.
That's funny.
Well, what's funny about that? I'm curious now.
Oh, all the NT men wear cardigans. I don't know what it is.
Oh, well, my girlfriend likes it when I wear cardigan, so I don't know. Like,
well, she's NF, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's NT last, so she's like, oh yes, some good NT cardigan.
Maybe you're onto something there. I didn't know that like the cardigan was like an NT thing, like
just look up all the NT men. They be wearing cardigans.
But does it look good on them? Does it like suit them?
I'm consumed last. I can't pass judgment.
Okay.
You have to ask an IxxP.
What does Jamie think?
I see the trend. When she said it, I was like, well, you got Bill Nye, you got what's his face, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Both of them wear cardigans quite a bit. Those are the top two off the top of my head. Seems legit to me.
Damn it, can't escape the NT. Can't escape it. Even with a fashion, can't escape it. Okay, so back to the topic. We're making fun of my fashion sense. I'm getting like self-conscious now. Just because but so you guys are both NF class, all right? So that's what you both have in common. And it's consume. So I'm gonna use new experience or anything that you consume as new as an example, okay? So today I watch Top Gun Maverick with my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
And whenever I watch movies, I always find some kind of inspiration from it. My girlfriend has SF consume, right? So when she was watching the movie, for her it was like, wow, that's so cool, because she's just looking at like the planes flying, their outfit and stuff, and for her it's like kind of like the ISTJs because they have the same consume. It's like, wow, that's so cool, right? But for us, we have NF consume, right? So for me, I was like, wow, like I'm watching the main character, Tom Cruise's character. It's kind of like his final run or whatever as like this character. And I'm not going to spoil anything in case you guys haven't seen it, but it felt kind of like a swan song, like a final like ride off to the sunset. And I felt like so much like nostalgia to it. And I kind of started thinking, it's like, okay, so he got to the point where he can feel this way because he spent so much time in this one area, which is like in the story, he was like the pilot, right? For Top Gun. Essentially. So, and then but at the end of your career, you're still good, but you're kind of riding off to the sunset. So like your life had like all this meaning that you brought into you. So even those small SI steps that you did all accumulated to this like one powerful, like kind of like almost nostalgic. It's like, oh, I'm saying goodbye now to a part of me, like riding off to the sunset. So like that's how I felt when I was watching it. Well, my girlfriend was just like, wow, so cool, So it's like a different like kind of like emotional impact. So and I feel that way too, like when I like travel and stuff, like when I travel I cannot enjoy it in a moment, but when I look at the pictures of like places I've been to or like videos, I get like really nostalgia and I feel like emotional when I watch it. I'm like, oh wow, that's so amazing, I can't believe I was there, but I can't enjoy it unless like I've seen I look at the picture or the video, like when I'm there, like my girlfriend's like looking around, it's like, wow, deer in the headlight, whatever, look. But for me, I'm like I don't feel anything, So like what are you guys' like experience with this, personally? So let's start with like experiencing something new. What happens to you guys? Like how do you feel? Let's go with Cherie first.
Oh, I was gonna say Jamie, you can go first.
Okay, Jamie first. So Jamie, let's go with Jamie first.
Okay, so I can tell a story. So I live not very far from Canada, and about 5 years ago, I went and I stayed for 3 months there. And Canada's, it is different from the US. It's not, like going somewhere with a foreign language or anything. There's a lot of similarities, but like I drove a friend of mine absolutely up the wall one day because he took me to the grocery store and I needed to look at everything in the grocery store to see how it's different from all the grocery stores I've been to before. We were there for hours and he has last laughed. And so he's not telling me, hey, I need to be at this place by this time because he's incapable. So he's like slowly getting angrier and angrier. And I'm completely oblivious to it because I'm like, oh man, like I finally got to indulge my consume, which is disastrous. It's so slow because I never do it. So I'm just getting all excited. I'm like, they have the seafood cases like they do at the markets in China with the live mussels and everything. I'm getting just so excited about everything.
You're getting really weird about it, eh?
Yeah, like super weird about it. And like they're metric up there, but it's the measurement. They were originally using standard measurements like we have here in the US. So like you can buy a pound of butter, but it doesn't say it's a pound. It says it's 454 grams because that's what a pound is in grams. And all the pop, like the pop cans and stuff are the same sizes, but they have it in milliliters. And so like I ended up memorizing all of the amounts for what it. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to cut myself short here because I will go on and I will tell you about all of the things that I noticed in the grocery store because they're so very vivid.
Even your consume was very SI. It's like step by step also. Your consume is
yeah. I can't do real consume where it's literally just taking in like the overview chaos, and it's the SI version of consume. So it's like this thing, and all of these things are different, and
like one can food at a time. That's crazy. Like I would be angry too. I was like with you. I was like, come on.
The whole thing was he's also like he's lead SE for sure, lead masculine SE. So he and I have interesting
All right,
misunderstandings.
what about you, Cherie? Is your consume as extreme as Jamie's?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I definitely would like to do something like that too, though. Like those kind of differences fascinate me. I don't have an example that's exactly like that one, but you know, I totally relate. I get it. But for me, like, it's so hard to tell when, like, if I'm doing something that's in my consume or if I'm doing something that's in my sleep, because I'll turn like a new TV show into like my sleep world, and then watching it is just doing my sleep processing, and I'm not like, I don't think I'm really taking in anything new, you know. Even if it's like I'm watching a new episode, I'm not sure how much of that is really me consuming and how much of it is just me like just deepening my sleep world, whatever it is, or just kind of like indulging in it. I don't feel like my sleep's really like this solid thing. It's more just like something that I just like feed the beast, just like feed the sleep beast. But yeah, so like the consumed for me, and it's like NT too is like my demon, right?
It's NF, and it's double.
Yeah, it's NF
masculine.
consume, but it's like NT play is the opposite of my SF sleep. So it's harder for me to take in like new patterns and try to understand them, I guess, than it is for me to just like watch a new movie. Like if you force me to sit down and watch a movie, I'll watch it. But I won't really take it in. So that doesn't really count.
Because the pattern, like, so that like the taking in of like that's the whole like it's immovable for you.
I guess I don't. Yeah, I guess it's like I'm very certain of things. I'm very like certain of a possibility happening, and then it will not happen, and that will stress me out. And then the cycle repeats, and I continue to be very certain of things, and then they don't happen, and then I am stressed. So, yeah. I don't know where I'm going with that.
No, I shouldn't have the stupid masculine NE, man, and demon. So you're like not responsible for it. It's like,
but I'm confident in it happening.
You're not confident and you're not really responsible for it. And there's like, it's like, I can never fix it, but it's always there.
Like, is that happening to you, Jamie, also? Because you also have masculine NE? Like you feel confident, like you don't feel responsible, but you feel confident about your.
And it is the most mortifying thing, especially because so my double masculine is play, and it's double masculine NT play. So that's actually, I get proud of myself for doing the consume, and that's kind of like when I finally do it, it's kind of fun. The play, like I'm responsible to do it because I'm responsible to make things work for the tribe, and I recognize that rapport is part of making things work for the tribe. But sometimes, like if I'm having I bought this coffee maker when I was like in my early 20s, and I had these roommates, and it was one of so this was back when having a coffee maker that you could like set up the night before so it would automatically go in the morning. This was like kind of a cool thing. Like that was about as fancy as the coffee makers got at that point in time. And that's what I had. So I set this thing up to make coffee. And I got up and I heard this, and it had a thing where you could pull the pot out and it would like stop brewing, stop dripping the coffee for a second while you pour a cup. So all of a sudden I start hearing this like, what the hell's going on? So I went and I looked, and like the pot is sitting on a pot holder on the counter. So the like thing that stops it from dripping is like overflowing, and the coffee is all going down on the burner. And I got so mad because I was convinced that somebody else had moved my coffee pot, and I like went around and I was like trying to figure out where they were. And then I realized I was the only one home. And I had a little sit down with myself. I did some sleep processing. Definitely, like you can see the double deciding happened right then. So I flip over to my double feminine sleep, and I'm like, how many times have I done this before? And I immediately remember another time that like I was convinced some kid stole my red crayon in kindergarten, and like, so yeah, I get real certain on these patterns, and then I punch the shit out of the tribe about it, and it's pretty mortifying. And I try not to do that too much anymore, but yeah.
So that's where your DE is coming from. You're looking for someone to blame, even if you're by yourself in your kitchen.
God, like it's like that, and that's when you've got like your double masculine is fully extroverted. That's how it is.
Right, like, double masculine. Right.
Everything is everybody else's fault, and like poor pitiful me, and like you're like beating the crap out of the tribe and everybody else, and like you don't even see it because poor pitiful me, no one would ever think I was threatening.
Yeah, you're the one that's threatening people.
Yeah. That's how you get a Karen. So there's that. I got to live with that. So.
So I have two questions for you guys that like really fascinates me about like consume last people, and also with high sleep people. The first one is, do you guys watch the same thing over and over again? Like if you had to watch something, you would watch the same one that you already know, like the same TV show. Like I know people who watch Friends over and over again. Like you've already seen this like a billion times. Why are you watching it again? You know, that's the first one. Like my girlfriend loves watching How I Met Your Mother, and she'll keep watching it over and over again. I'm like, you already seen this. She's like, it's comfortable, you know, because it's like it leads sleep, right? And then my second question is like, with consume last, like what in your free time, what are you doing? If you're not consuming, what are you doing? Like,
Oh God.
yeah, so I'm
No,
like,
Kendrick, that's like my problem. If I don't have something to blast in my free time, I get stressed. And I am not okay. Like that's why I have been struggling this past week. Like I like broke down in tears, like crying to my mom. Cause I was like, everything's ruined and like I'm not doing anything. She's like, calm down. Your job literally starts in 3 days. Why are you freaking out? And I'm like, I don't have anything to do. She's like, just like, you know, read a book or something. I'm like, I can't do that. I'm like, I literally can't. I got a library card and I can't even read a book. Damn it.
okay, well,
Yeah.
so
It's really hard.
so wait, so basically you're telling me is you just work? So you're just like, if you'd rather not have a free time, you'd rather just be working. Is that what you're trying to say?
So I'm very good at like doing things for a reason, right? So I'm good at like taking care of my health and eating the right amount of foods and getting nutrients and taking showers and brushing my teeth, you know, basic human stuff. And going to bed at the right time or whatever, you know, and working out and etc. and getting my steps in, blah, 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 blah. But like when it comes to, I don't know, like filling my brain with new ideas for the future, or even just like staying on top of my bills, then that's like where I struggle. And yeah, so I can do like throughout the day, if I have lots of different projects going on, like 5, 6 projects, like I generally have a couple jobs, like 3, and then school, studying, you know, and then meetings for like other things, you know, and that keeps me pretty occupied. But if I don't have a bunch of responsibilities, yeah, then I get very like, I feel very lost.
Don't you just sleep process then, or is
No,
that like...
because like, what are you gonna sleep process? Like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you have to do something and then you can sleep process. And then there's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess doing nothing is the hardest thing in the world. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I tend to take on like a lot of responsibility, usually like more than I can handle. But it's because I'm so afraid of like not having like outside responsibilities, because then I'll have to like just sit in my room and consume all day, and I hate doing that.
yeah, I have demon consume and I love consuming. So I'm curious, you know, with the consume last, it's like so different because like the demon consume and consume last, they're so different. You know, like I'm doing what you guys are doing. I'm working. I'm doing like 3, like I have like, you know, several jobs and stuff. Plus the YouTube channel. But on my free time, I look forward to it. I'm like, oh great, I can like consume. I can go watch a movie. I can go play video
But
games.
you also have any first though.
That's true. Because I noticed with my friends, I'm friends with so many ISTJs. I just get along with ISTJs really well because I guess we're opposite, so opposite attract, right? So like I'm friends with like, I mean, like a short tangent here. I have like ISTJ cop friends, and I get scared when I'm hanging out with them. Like we're friends, we're friends, but I know they're also a cop, you know. So you know, like I feel like, oh, did I
They're
do something
controlling
wrong?
you.
No, I feel like I did something wrong already.
They're,
Like even though
they're
I didn't.
trapping you.
Yeah,
They're gonna
I
trap
feel
you with
like
their control.
that's not the feeling. I feel like I did something wrong. I feel like I already did something wrong. Like I did I break the law or anything? You know, like so.
You're like, which SI did I not take care of?
Yeah, yeah. But anyways, besides the craziness, Jamie, what about you? Like for the consume, like so what do you do in your free time if you're not consuming, or are you consuming a little bit now? Like what's going on with you?
So the problem that comes up, like I'm conscious of the fact that I'm not doing the consume, and I'm wanting to be more responsible for it because I'm aware, like I've had enough experience that I've had situations where, oh, this was fun, I enjoyed this, it was rewarding, right? The problem is coming up with the specifics of the consume. So like I don't have a television because I went through this, it's totally like lead blaster, double activated blaster problems. I was like, no, because I don't get enough done and the TV sucks me in, and I like that whole just work your whole life away thing happened. And so I still don't have a TV, but I bought a projector. So I was like, okay, I can spend a couple $100 on a projector and have like a giant screen, and I can, every once in a while I can do a movie night. And I bought that like almost 2 years ago. I have used it less than 5 times.
I knew it. I was gonna ask you about that.
Yep. And I can never, like, and part of the issue, like now I have I've made a new problem. I'm trying to move it into a different room, and I'm trying to get it on now I have like the technological problems that I'm trying to solve so I can actually get the picture up, and then so the cats don't destroy it while I'm watching it. But even if, like, when everything was set up and all I had to do was hook up some kind of device, so I had a movie playing, I would get it set up, and I would spend hours unable to figure out what I was going to watch, because what I wanted to do was watch something I had seen before. But I was like, no, you're not allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to do that. Yeah. Oh, I get it. Oh my God. No, not me on Netflix. Like, I just want to watch, whatever movie it is for the 5th time, and I can't. I just want to watch The Princess Bride for the 25th time, but I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
I have to watch something new.
I'll watch Shawshank. I'll watch, or even if I go back and try to watch old TV shows where I'm like, I don't think I saw this all the way through. I probably have seen all the episodes, probably, but I did, like, I watched it when it was still like network TV, and I didn't record everything. And so, like, who knows? Maybe I missed some. But I'm like, no, I see what you're trying. You're trying to cheat.
Yeah, you're trying to cheat. Yep. Trying to sneak in some old with the new.
Yeah.
The new. I might have missed.
And then I never end up watching, because I will fall asleep trying to find something to watch because nothing looks good. Because, like, literally when you have save your sleep and demon consume,
yep,
your brain lights up, just lights up at seeing the things that you know.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like a little fireworks go off. Like, oh, yeah. I recognize that.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
What?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Are you serious? Are you guys you get excited over something that you know already? Like there's like part of you that gets emotionally.
Yeah, no, like
No.
I was trying to go to
that
church.
Doesn't make sense.
And when I went to church back in the 80s and early 90s, everybody sang out of hymnals. And so now when I go to church and it's like the karaoke thing on the screen and they've got the drummer behind the plexiglass,
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know any of this.
You're like, this stresses me out. You're like, this is not my sleep world.
I don't know how I don't know how to blaster interact and organize for the tribe, and I don't know how to process this internally. This is just chaos.
Wait, hold on. How come you guys are not allowed to cheat and watch something that you already know? Like, because you both like.
Because it's like the rule. You have to consume something new. because
Right.
it's
Yeah,
consumed.
like that's totally the TE, like, because the TE, you will apply it to yourself, the fairsies thing.
Mhm.
You're like, no,
Yeah.
nope, not allowed to cheat. Nope, you can't break the rules. Like that whole controlling thing that we do to everybody else, where we're like, no, you can't break the rule. We do that to ourselves all day long.
That's so weird. I never heard of this before. But this is I didn't even know this was a thing. Like you shame yourself for trying to cheat. Like it's
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
like it's almost like with the FE shaming the FI, but you're shaming your own FI or something.
She was talking about eating right and brushing her teeth. Same thing. Those are the rules. You have to follow the rules.
Oh my God, it sounds so depressing when you put it like that. Geez.
Yeah.
I'm just like a drill sergeant over here, like whipping myself. Like, okay,
Exactly.
get in line. You're in the. It's now. It's 8 o'clock. Time to eat food, prisoner.
I literally had when I realized what I was doing, I literally had this like rebellion, and I deliberately. I'm in this, so I'm in a really small city, so I can do this, and it's not that dangerous. But I will like run red lights if there's nobody around. Like I'm deliberately, I'm like, no, we're gonna overcome this bitch. Like we're gonna get over this.
Oh, yes. I have not a personal story, but a story about someone else, blaster lifestyle. I'm watching this show right now called Ozark, and one of the main characters, Wendy Bird, she's probably ISTJ, definitely like save your blast, consume last. I think she might be blast play, but like who knows. But her thing is she'll like go into people's homes and that are like unlocked. Like she'll go through a window and then she'll go and she'll like turn a painting upside down and she'll like sit in their couch and she'll like move the pillows around and she'll go and like make someone's bed and then unmake someone else's bed. She goes and puts food coloring in the milk. She like switches the pots and the pans and then she like leaves the door open. And that's like, she's like, I'm causing chaos. She's like, I'm a chaos monkey. And I'm like, ma'am, madame, you are not doing anything. You're just weirdo consume last. You die in somebody else's milk. Like, can you?
I legit do, and I think I'm being so chaotic and sneaky when I do it. Like,
oh yeah, in the movie, it's like this big thing for her. It's like she's like discovering herself, her identity, her true self.
Oh my God, I gotta watch
people's homes. Oh, you would love it because so Wendy's husband, he's played by Jason Bateman, who's this adorable. He's an INFP, consumes sleep, like little like double feminine INFP guy, and he's just playing his own character. So it's adorable because he's got the NF consume, but like he's a little mope. I don't know. I love it.
So you guys are both your consume is pretty much an ENFP's consume. So you got like a little ENFP in there. So and then
evil ENFP.
Yeah. Yours even worse than the actual ENFPs because yours is a demon, right? So when it comes out, it does like all these demonic things that you guys are just explaining right now. But like, is there like a part of yourself? Because like I think you guys were talking about like whipping yourself, right? You're like your inner drill sergeant and stuff. Is there like a part of yourself that's like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I wanna start shit. I want to start shit, Like it's like, is there like a part of you like want to do that?
Yeah, that's how I know I'm having a demon freak out. Like I have never walked out on a job in my life ever, but I tell myself my dumb double activated TE tells myself that if I really didn't like a job, I would walk right out of there.
I'll be sitting in my room and I'll be like, it's just getting really hard right now. And I'll be like, it's okay, Cherie. If it gets really bad, you just run away and join the circus.
That's
like
right.
I'm like, I actually tell myself, I'm like, it's okay. The circus will take you in, if nothing else.
Yeah, no, and it's actually funny. I was talking about this with some folks at work the other day. So like I do, so the demon consume I'm real bad about drinking water. and I have a system. Naturally, I designed a system to make sure I drink water, and it breaks down sometimes because sometimes the consume just overrides everything. So I forgot my water bottle, and that's my system. I don't have my water bottle with me. I don't drink water, and unfortunately, when I don't drink water, I become like, I don't go beat on the tribe. That's not what I do. I actually, I suddenly decide that I no longer have the will to live, and I start fantasizing about going and just sitting in a hole until I die. And I'm done with all of this. I don't want to do any of this anymore. It's like my DI actually kind of comes out when that happens, and is really unhappy about the whole thing. And
That's DI.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I'm just like, I'm so miserable about the whole thing. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna go sit in a hole and die by myself. Screw you guys. So like, so it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I caught myself because I left my water bottle at home, and I actually had a lovely conversation. I found, oh, I'm not the only one who does this when I don't drink water.
I was just thinking what Cherie said about joining the circus, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I think you're gonna become a real ghost if you jump your first trapeze. You know, you're not an ISFP. You know, like.
I know. I've joined, and then I'd be like, wait, I have to climb that? I have like a fear of heights.
or you know, since you're an ISTJ, you join the circus, and guess what? They'll make you like in charge of like the ticket booth or something like.
I'll be the popcorn girl.
Yeah, something like ISTJ job. It's not gonna be like the cool, you know, flipping and like showtime.
No. Oh, they'll make you put up the tent. They'll be like, all right, ST Blast, get out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Some stakes.
Yeah. You know what I like about the IJs is like when I hang out with deciders, and whether that they're EJs or IPs, like with the EJs, I can see my IJ friends trying to like boost them up because they have like low self-esteem. But then when it's an IP, it's really funny because the IPs are like so high and mighty about themselves. So I see my IJ friend doing what I'm doing, which is kind of like knocking them down a few notches from their high horse. And I'm like, huh. Like, this is what I have in common with you guys. You know, we're both double players, and we see this one person is under a high horse, so we gotta knock their ass down the high horse. You know,
Okay.
and
That's
like,
what that is.
yeah.
Oh
And
my god. Oh my god.
What I like about the IJs also is like they're also really good at talking shit. So like I'm talking shit to my IP friends who are like in our high horse. But my IJ friend has their own version of shit talking. I was like, oh, I have nothing but admiration for the shit talking that you're doing right now to this IP that's like under high horse. No offense to IPs watching this. I love you guys. You know, it's all fun and games. But you know, like but it's I just think it's like funny. It's like oh, this is where like the EP and IJ are a team. You know, like knocking people down their high horse. You know, like.
Oh my god, Kendrick, that's so bad.
Yeah, no, I'm.
The observers just ganging up on the deciders.
No, but if they're an EJ and they're like, you know, feeling down, we'll bring them up too.
Yeah.
It's not all bad. It's not all bad, you know, like it could be good and bad, you know. So if people are going down, we'll be nice, you know. But if they're under high horse, hey, you're
the good EJs, we help them, but the bad IPs, no, we got to knock that down.
Exactly. Yeah, just to clarify.
You're either a good EJ or a bad IP.
Yeah,
my decider now.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, if you're a good IP and you know whatnot,
then you don't exist. That's impossible. You can only be a bad IP.
Those poor IPs, man.
We're digging ourselves a bigger hole now. It's just getting worse. But
I mean, I always do butt heads with them, and I feel bad because I'm like, well, okay, they're not all bad. I like IPs from a distance. I love Elon Musk, and I don't know him, and I like to keep it that way because that way I like him better. Because I think if I knew him, I'd hate him.
I get that.
Okay, I have tons of IP friends, so I actually really like them. They do douchey things though, so that's true. So I think you just have to tell them they're being a douche. I think like you just have to be straight up with them. Like they're not aware that they're being a douche sometimes, so you just have to tell them. Like I with my IP friends, I just tell them, hey, you know, you're being a douche. Like everyone hates you right now. You know, like you want to get abandoned. And since I learned about OPS, I actually use OPS words now. Like I'm like, you want to get abandoned by everyone? you know, and then I can see their eyes, like there's terror in
Oh,
their eyes.
Kendrick,
But
that's so
Yeah.
sad. Oh my God. One of
I've
my
had
best friends is, I think she's a sleep last ISFP, and it's so interesting because I see her going and like punching people. She's got masculine FI, like punching people with her identity all the time. And she like cares so much about other people and does stuff for other people because she's like the double activated play. But yeah, sometimes she pushes too hard and it's like not everybody is gonna like, because she'll be like, if you don't meet my standards, then you just don't matter. And like you're terrible. Like, and she means it too. Like she'll cut people off if they like don't meet her FI standards. It's like, Megan, honey, like I love you, but you can't be that mean to people. Like they're not going to be a friend.
I can relate. I have like a similar story, but kind of like a little bit different. So I have I work in the fitness industry. I'm a personal trainer, right? So my mentor, personal trainer, he's an ISTP jumper. Like I think he's TINI, and he I think he's consumed last, and he has like super high standards when it comes to like training people. And when people come to the gym, he expects everyone to operate at like 100% at all times.
Yes, that's how
If they're-
Megan is.
yeah, exactly. And even if they're having a bad day, he'll like push them to perform, right?
Yeah.
And
right,
then like, so he moved to a different city now, but before he moved, me and my sisters and my girlfriend, we all trained under him because he was so good. Like truly he was the best. We took him out for dinner, and then he became like quiet all of a sudden, even though he's like a blaster. Usually he just blasts nonstop. And then he looked at me and my sisters and myself, and he's like, you know what? You know what I learned? People can have a bad day. And when they have a bad day, I think it's good to be nice to them and just tell them it's okay. You don't have to work as hard in the gym, you know, today, you know. And that's what I learned. I was like, and he's like in his 40s, right? I was like, wow. You know, but like, you know, to most people, that's like, oh, that's kind of like a no-brainer, you know, like, but no, but it's good. It's good for him though. That's a good thing. That's a good thing that he discovered that, you know, like he discovered his like FE at the bottom, you know. It's like sometimes, you know, it's good to be nice.
No, that's exactly it. Like, my dad's an IP, and like I talk crap about him because one, I have TE, and I talk crap about everybody, and but like I love him to death, and it's actually been really good because I've been able to watch him grow through a lot of his like self-tribe stuff. And he and I kind of helped one another to grow. He pushed me a lot more on developing my identity, and I was a constant pain in his rear, challenging his deeply held values.
Yes. They're like, this is what you must do. And it's like,
Yeah.
Why? There are all these other options available.
Right.
You are not the most important thing in the universe.
Right.
Says me to myself, since I'm also DI.
Yeah. Well, you make fun of yourself at least. It's like, you know, like
I'm a double decider. Yay.
Yeah. But you know, I love IPs. Just to like cover my tracks here. I would not be where I am today without the inspiration of IPs. Like I have like a lot of IPs friends who helped me get to where I am right now in terms of like pushing myself above what I perceive as my limit, you know, because I feel like sometimes I can only get to here. And then I would have IP friends. They'd be like, no, you can actually be here. I'm like, huh, didn't know that, you know? So, and then they lead by example too, which I really appreciate, because like no one pushes themselves harder than IPs. Like no one puts as much pressure on themselves than IP. So, you know, IPs are, I think they're needed because then no one knows how much you are capable of without those guys.
They are. And when they decided that someone is in their DI, they put all that focus on them, and they they know what they respond to, what they don't.
Yes.
They do
they do everything for you. If you're in an IP's DI, like they will like cut off their own limb for you.
Yep.
Like it's honestly beautiful. Also, IPs, one of the IP categories is the best type of all, according to David Shan. So like you can't go wrong being an IP.
The ISTPs, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Like you're already in the human need category where the best type comes from. So like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't say that about ISTJs.
Yeah.
Dave and Shan, where you at? You know, best IJ type over here? Maybe?
Pandering.
I don't
You're
know.
pandering. I like it.
Are we the best IJs? Tell me, please.
I think we're the best, and if we're not the best, we're at least the rarest.
That's right.
No,
The rarest because we're not.
they said ISFJs were the rarer one. So no, you guys don't agree. Okay.
I'll go back and look at their sheet, but like all of the ISTJ, like I have one exact type who I still talk to every once in a while. Our names rhyme, and
Amy. Yeah.
Oh man, talking to her was crazy. But yeah, no, there are not a ton of ISTJs on the list.
I remember them actually, like in their one of their videos, because you know they talk about their old business in the RC thing.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they said all their customers were ICJs, and they would ask the same questions in all the emails, and it would drive them nuts, you know, like, you know. So
I get like when they were talking about the RC guys, I was like, I completely understand everything that they're talking about right now.
like their concerns and whatnot. Like,
yeah, no, because like anytime you make any kind of like little change, like SI will freak out, and if it's masculine SI, oh my god. Oh my god, no, no changes. Feminine SI will be like, oh, well, this is an interesting change. Oh, masculine SI is like, no, you need to like, you need to present a memorandum of understanding and a whole bunch of research before you even think about trying to change this stuff. They will, and
prove
they will
it to
die
me
on that hill. They will die on it.
well, I can relate, because like I'm you know, Savior Blast, and you know that's pretty much like an ISTJ. Like my Blast is ISTJ, same as you guys though, and it's masculine, so I get that. Oh wait, last question for you guys before we wrap up the interview. This one's gonna be a big one. So I don't know if you guys ever thought about this before, but the interesting thing about our function stack is our sleep is FISI, right? So it's not like, you know, Dave and Chance, like the ENTJ, INTJ, ESFP, and ISFP, they're like inner worlds NF, right? So for them, they have like a big, like abstract discovery about their identity, right? You know, it's like my favorite is David Goggins, you know, like he'll use like my favorite, his favorite saying that I have is the callous mind. You know, he's like, you need to experience a lot of shit in your life where your mind gets callous, you know, so that nothing can hurt you anymore. You know, that's why he wrote a book called Can't Hurt Me, right? One of the best book, top 3 best book I've ever read. That book is so good. It's so messed up. Like that book is messed up. Like the stuff that he went through, I don't think I could ever get to that point, you know, and he's tribe above self too.
Wow.
Tribe above self. Like he has like the worst childhood, like abuse, like abusive family, like does so many marathons that like leaves his like feet like raw, like bleeding raw. It's like disgusting, but and he's still doing it, and it's like, and he's DE, right? So he put the pressure on himself. So he discovered that like NF inner world, right? And then you have like the opposite of that, you know, people with like the NT inner world, right? Like who is like the smartest,
like
I guess you could say. Yeah, like that dude, right? And then there's us, and like that those ENTP people, like ISFJ, ESFJ, and whatnot, and INTP, where it's like it's almost close to us, it's like SITI, but ours is SIFI, right? So for them, there's like that SI component also, where like there is like a part where you have to build something physical, like, you know, like Jeff Bezos created like Amazon, you know, it's like physical stores. He's like in EP, right? He has all these like physical stores, and he's like the smartest, the smartest person to like create that thing. But ours is SIFI, and the best example I have, I just did an interview actually with the ENFP jumpers and standard. It's like Mr. Beast. I don't know if you guys saw his like videos on YouTube or like some of it before, but he's like,
yeah.
Which one is he?
You have dark hair.
he has short hair, brownish hair, brownish. He
Yeah.
I've heard the name before, and I don't know.
Well-
like, I have no sense of what context or anything.
well, do you guys know PewDiePie?
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys know PewDiePie is like the #1 for solo content creator, right? Like in terms of like number of subscribers, is like 110 million or something. So Mr. Beast is gonna catch up to him soon. He's like 96 million, right? So
Oh.
it won't be long before he catches up to him and become #1. It's not if, it's when. It's like it's a matter of time. It's already like it's in the books. Anyways, he's an ENFP and he has FI SI also. Like he's play last. They type him in the. They just mentioned his
Oh, wow.
casually in the class. So double activated SI, right? So that seems to be like the magic thing. It's like masculine NE plus double activated SI creates magic. It seems like, and like you can argue the same thing for Jeff Bezos. Play last also double masculine, double NE with double activated SI also. So that seems to be like the magical combination is a double activated SI and masculine NE. Hey, you both have it, so you guys can create magic, right?
No, we don't have it as a savior. It doesn't count.
Yeah. Hey, just because no one has done it yet doesn't mean you can't be the first. So like just saying. But anyways,
They can have it third and do it like it's a hobby. Like
yeah. Oh yeah, you could be third. Because you're not an IP, right? You're not an IP. You don't care to be first. But
Yep.
So I wonder if, like, getting a little bit off tangent here. I wonder if IPs would be first if everyone else cared to be first, like the other types. It's just something I thought about now. But anyways, because like it's just like not everyone cares, right?
Oh. But if everyone cared, then everyone would be an IP.
That's true.
I think the caring is intrinsic. I don't think they can be separated.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyways, so the question here is like, so using Mr. Beast as an example, so he said that he wants to be the best YouTuber, period, right? So that's like the identity he's going for, like SIFI. That's what he wants to be,
Oh wow.
And it's emotional. It's like an emotional decision. It's not logical at all.
No,
Like he said that if he wasn't working, he would still be a YouTuber. Like that's all he wants to do is YouTube, and it's like something that he personally values, right? So my question to you guys is, who do you want to be? Like, who do you want to be? Like, I know it's a loaded question. I understand it's a loaded question.
Oh no.
But because they said
consume coming out. Oh god.
No, I mean, I'm not saying you have to consume it. I'm just saying like, no, because like, for our types, the real thing we're organizing is our identity, is FI and SI, right? So it's our identity and what we value. That's truly what like we're organizing here.
What we value.
Yeah, what we value, like, or who do you want to be? I guess that's the best question. Like, who do you want to be? Or what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? Like, so it doesn't really matter.
And like in the physical reality, like that's like with like the guy who was the astronaut. It's like he wanted to be an astronaut.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Chris.
Yeah. Or Solenberger. He was like, I'm gonna be a pilot, a really good pilot.
Yes.
It's like your identity is your physical label, and like how good you are at that label.
Right.
I think.
People like that amaze me. Absolutely amaze me. Because it's like I feel this urge, like I'm trying to do that, but I never felt like I had like the label figured out. Ever. I still don't.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't like when Cherie was saying like her identity was invisible, like I resonated with that so much because I don't have like that consume last thing is like I'm not responsible, and I feel like I'm not allowed to do things for myself. And without doing things for myself, I don't have what am I? Right? I'm just an automaton, literally, like like the people put this in and this comes out, and yeah, there's this whole like SF sleep thing going on. I'm like, yeah, it should, but my SF sleep's double feminine, so it's like constantly shifting around, and And there's nothing really firm to it. So it's like, you know, I have zero, I'm starting to understand how other people perceive me, but it, like, I mean, it is, oh God, the level of the gap where I'm trying to process that information is so wide that I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to figure this out. You know, so maybe I'm just going to be hobbling the rest of my life on this.
Well, okay, I'm going to give you an example real quick. So this person's not like your type, but kind of the same, like double feminine, like feminine sensory and feminine identity. So it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, he's like FM, right? And like he chose his own identity because like it's movable, right? It's like with masculine FI, it's kind of weird because it's like it's like this is our identity and this is it. Like this is it, right? Like me and Cherie would have masculine FI, so it's like this is it. But if you have feminine FI, you can kind of make things up, right? It's like, yeah, you know what? I don't like this. I'm gonna go be something else, you know. It's so like, and you can choose. So
yeah, no, like I think of it as wearing hat. Like I put this one on when I need this hat, and as soon as this hat doesn't serve me, I take it off and I throw it away. Which is convenient, but it's also like you don't have this sense of continuity, and that's something that everybody needs, no matter, you know, what your sexuals are on your identity. If you don't feel like you have a sense of realness to you, you know, it's going to cause you issues because you feel like you're fake.
maybe
No, I totally get that.
Yeah.
But
I totally get that.
maybe you could have, because you use the hat analogy, right? So yeah, hey guys, ISTJs can use analogies, you know. So use the hat analogy, right? So maybe you could have more than one identity, because like Arnold Schwarzenegger, for example, like he was a bodybuilder first, and then he became an actor, and then he became a politician, right? So he had like 3 hats where he kind of like did really well on, you know.
If I told you guys how many different jobs I've had, and it's not like, I mean, it's all over the place. Like I worked, I've done there's some things that kind of overlap some. There's been a lot of retail and stuff, but like I was a compliance coordinator. I worked in a marine environment store. I managed a marina, like walking around in a swimsuit with a 6-foot steel pole so I could like adjust the winches as the water's rising and lowering. I currently work with a really arcane computer system to make sure that price updates happen in a grocery store. Like, it's just like, I was a concierge for a private golf club. I mean, it's like, there's no, I
You don't
feel
have
like I'm just guessing, and I don't like guessing. So like,
but you don't have a favorite hat that you had, like a favorite job or a favorite like.
I had, I haven't, I mean, maybe the problem is that I feel like there isn't a perfect hat. Like maybe my identity has to keep changing. But
Or okay, maybe do you
there's
have a
something wrong with all the hats. Let me put it that way. There's something wrong with all the hats. My head is not hat shaped, so you know, it works. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the best thing in the world. It's one of those things where you need that firm sense of continuity and identity sometimes, and you need that fluidity at other times. And whichever one you have, you're going to be frustrated with, because it means that you don't have the other one that you need sometimes. So so yeah.
What about you, Cherie? What about you?
I totally relate. I mean, I thought my identity, I mean, I thought I had feminine FI, you know, for like a year and a half, 2 years, just because I have so much like insecurity about all the different roles that I've played in the tribe, and like wearing lots of hats. and then not like feeling like any of them are like a perfect fit is like, that's been a struggle for me. Like like a problem. Like I feel like I like need a solid identity and I don't have one. And I'm like, this is so frustrating. Where is me? You know?
I like that you
But
called the cat not a perfect fit, and I'm sitting here like my head's not the right shape.
I know,
Oh,
I'm like, okay. But no, but so I've been reading Maslow lately. He's the guy who founded like self-actualization theory, and like and the field of humanistic psychology and like positive psychology. And like I never read new things, but like this is a thing that I'm like reading for my consume and my DI. And the thing I love about how like Maslow describes self-actualization is that he describes like becoming the best sort of human, like becoming all that you can be and becoming like the most human you can be, which involves like creativity and sort of like an a sort of like acceptance of like seeing things how they are and not like how you like intellectualize them to be or stuff or like something like that. But it's like the best part about it is he's like the self-actualized people are like they're like creative and they're kind of open and like they like go with the flow and like stuff. And anyways, all that to say, what I've taken away from him is that like self-actualization, which is supposed to be like a human becoming all that they can be, is about like having like a creative, like mutable sense of self and like worthiness. And I don't know, that's been so like freeing for me to read. There's like obviously some aspects of actualization that like would be very hard for me to reach, and like I definitely haven't reached yet. But the creative, like free identity aspect of it is definitely relatable, and that makes me feel like maybe I can just put my label on as like I'm just a good human. I'm, that's who Sully Silver, he can be the best pilot in the world. I don't care. Mr. Beast can be the best YouTuber. I don't care. I'm just gonna be the best human. And that's just what I'm gonna do. And then I don't have to worry about if I'm like the best, because I will like literally be up at night like anxious over like not knowing what my career path is, or like who am I? Like what am I? But I'm just gonna be a good human. Just gonna try to be an actualized human. That's what I'm gonna do.
I think they did make a video a while back about like FISI or whatever, and like there is no such thing as like the perfect job for people like us. I think it is gonna be you. Like who do you want to be? Like the question of who you want to be, I think it's more of like your character trait, like if whatever I'm doing is allowing me to, like, let's say my value system, like I like freedom, obviously, because I'm an EP, courage, honesty, authenticity, and growth, right? So if like I'm hitting those 5 points, it doesn't really matter what the job is, as long as like I'm experiencing those 5. So if I'm not growing, wrong job, right? If I have no freedom in this job, freedom to like be autonomous, then it's the wrong job. If I don't get a chance to test my bravery to be courageous, then it's the wrong job. So it should be in like a place where I get scared, then I have to do something brave.
I like that.
So I feel like
that.
I feel like you have to like take those, like whatever your top 5 values are. I don't know what you guys are. Maybe you can share that.
Everyone's is different.
Yeah. Well, for us it is because we have FI, but the FE they share the same one. But anyways, like no, I mean within their tribe. So I feel like that's kind of like where we decide like what what's the right job. It's like, okay, this 5 values I have ticks all the boxes. Okay, it's the right job, and you're not always gonna like it. I think that's the thing, right? You don't always have to like it, but if you're like checking the boxes, I think it's the right direction. At least my opinion, All right, you guys are giving me a weird look, so
No, that's good. I'm just thinking my job right now probably doesn't tick all the boxes for me, but like,
Does it take
you
at least
know,
one box?
I think
Yeah.
it ticks 1 or 2, but like not all 5.
Yeah,
I don't
Cherie
even know
like,
what all
oh
5
shit.
are.
Cherie's like, oh shit.
That's
I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, it's one of those things where like I was very conscious some time back that I didn't want to become one of those people who associated what I do with my identity, because
Mhm.
it's such an unhealthy attitude to get into, because then you end up forcing yourself to justify your existence by constantly doing things.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Totally.
I've got the double activated TE. It will put me in that position, same day in, day out, and it's that secondary EJ aspect for me, and so I try. It's a double-edged sword though, because when you recognize that, and then you're also trying to like do what you actually want to do and follow your passion and do something that's, or maybe it's not the thing, but it's something that's meaningful. You just want to find something, maybe better than working with a BS computer in a grocery store. Then you end up saying, well, it's not my identity. It's not my, like, you're fighting it. Like, it's not my identity. Don't, like, you won't let yourself dive all the way in. So like anyway, I'm getting neurotic here, but but yeah, the sleep is trying to hold me back. I don't like it. I'm gonna stop talking now.
No, I get it.
Yeah, it's
I do
fine,
that
it's
all
fine.
the time. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna turn the SI off. I'm like, I know where this is going, and we've been here before. We don't need to go there again. Crazy, I know. God, oh man.
All right, guys.
Good question though, Kendrick.
Thank you,
That's
thank
good.
you. So we'll wrap it up here. So thanks for coming out, guys, and sharing more about your life as an ISTJ specifically. You guys are different, but there's a lot of similarity. It almost feels like there's more similarities. Like once you get to the core of it, like there's more, like especially with like the chaos freak out and like the not knowing your role and job. So it seems like there's more similarities than differences. Which I guess that's why you're still under the same umbrella, the ISTJ umbrella.
We're both ISTJs at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. So take care, guys, and don't consume too much. Just kidding.